Hi everyone, welcome back to one of my videos. This is Selena. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I release a crochet video every week in free pattern. So today I'm bringing to you a really simple and easy and cute crochet project. I absolutely adore it. It's for a flower slide, so this is like a super simple project. So I hope you enjoy it. So for this project I have used some DK yarn, so that's a light 3 yarn in American terms, and I used 2 different colors. So I used this light pink and this mustard shade because we're in autumn and I thought we could make something a bit more autumnal. So I also used a 4mm crochet hook, a slide, a tapestry needle and a pair of scissors, and the free pattern and photos will be on my blog, so head over there, selenaveronique.com. You can download the pattern for free. And yes, I hope you enjoy this project. I will be using US terms. So for the purpose of this video, I will be using different yarns. However, I will be listing all the exact yarns that I've used in the down bar and also on my blog and pattern. So don't worry if it's not the same colours. So to begin your very simple flower, you are going to make a slip knot. So just go ahead and create a slip knot. Pop your hook through this slip knot and you are just going to be chaining 4. So once you've got your chain 4, you are just going into the first stitch with your hook to slip stitch to form a ring. So just go through that stitch and this stitch with your hook, and you should have a ring into which you are going to be placing 10 single crochets directly. So basically just take your hook, go into the center. I'm just going to tie in my loose end as I go, and just go ahead and place 10 single crochets. So I'm just going to take my yarn, pull it through. I've got 2 loops on my hook and pull through 2 loops. And again, just go into that center and take your yarn and pop a single crochet. And you are going to be doing that 10 times into that circle. So just go ahead and pop a single crochet, 10 single crochets into that center. So once you've got your 10 single crochets, you are just going to be slip stitching through that first stitch right here. So just go through both strands, take your yarn and slip stitch through your project just to tie in those stitches. And if you are going to be changing yarn colors like I'm going to do, what you're going to do is just snip off your yarn and pull your yarn through. Very simple. Go through this one, so I'm just going to go through with my hook, take my second color and pull the strand through like so. I'm just going to tie the yarn in. Just going to close my circle by pulling on this strand. So that's closed my circle, and I'm just going to snip off my yarn. There we go. So I've snipped off my yarn, and I'm just going to show you how to make this. So once you've popped your yarn in, just go back with your hook and chain 2 So just take your yarn and chain 2. So 1 and 2. And what we're going to do now is just go in with a double crochet that we're not going to finish. And this is how we're going to create our first petal. So just take your hook, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into that same stitch into which we just worked, take your yarn, pull it through, and we now have 3 loops on our hook, and just pull your yarn through 2 loops and leave this double crochet unfinished. So now what we're going to do, now that we've got this double crochet that's not finished, we're just going to do the same thing, wrap our yarn around the hook, go into the next stitch. So just go into the next stitch and pop your hook through, grab your yarn, pull it through, and we've got 4 loops on our hook. Pull our yarn through 2 loops, and we're just going to finish this stitch by grabbing our yarn and pulling through 3 loops. And this is most of our petal almost finished. We do have to chain 2, 1 and 2, and to finish this off we're just going to slip stitch through this stitch that we've just worked in. So just go through that stitch and slip stitch. So I'll just let you slip stitch through that. I'm just going to So now this is our first petal done, and we've still got another 4 to go. So to create your next petal, you are just going to go into the next stitch and slip stitch through that. So just pop your hook through both strands, take your yarn, pull it through and pull it through, and we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We are going to wrap our yarn around the hook, go into that same stitch to create our double crochet that we're not finishing. So take your yarn, we've got 3 loops on the hook, take your yarn, pull through 2 loops, and we're just going to leave this unfinished. We've got 2 strands on the hook. We are just going to wrap our yarn around and go into the next stitch. So just go into the next stitch, pop your hook through, pull your yarn through and go through 2 loops and finish this stitch off by going through 3 loops and chain 2, 1 and 2, and go into that same stitch that we've just worked into to pop a slip stitch like so. There we go, and we've just finished our second petal. So it's quite easy, isn't it? So to make your third petal, just go into the next stitch and slip stitch through that, chain 2, 1 and 2. We are going to wrap our yarn around and go into that same stitch and start making a double crochet that we're not going to finish. Wrap your yarn again, go into the next stitch, and there we go. Go through 2 loops, finish the stitch, go through 3 loops, chain 2, 1 and 2, and slip stitch through this. There we go, and there we go. Now we're just gonna, so this is the third petal, and what we're going to do now is create the last 2 in the exact same fashion. So I'm just gonna let you carry on doing your petals, and I'll meet you back just to show you how to finish off this flower. So I've almost finished my flower. I've just chained 2 and I'm just going to slip stitch through that last stitch. So I'm just going to slip stitch through that. And I've just finished my 5 petals. And to finish off the project, we are just going to go into the first petal a bit randomly at the bottom of any stitch and slip stitch again, just so that it closes that flower up like so. And what we're going to do is just snip our yarn off, but this time just leave quite a long tail to sew the flower into our project. And so once you've snipped off the yarn, just pull through this stitch just to create a knot. And there we go, we've got a flower. Okay, so this is the flower that I have. And to finish off the project, I am simply going to attach it to this slide. So to do so, I'm simply going to be placing my tapestry needle on the yarn, and I'm going to clip this open and I'm going to place my flower however I want it. And then I'm simply going to turn this round and start kind of tying my, I hope you can see. So I'm just going to go like this and then through the project, if that makes any sense. So I'm just using, you don't need to use a tapestry needle, it's just I think it's easier to use one just to go back and forth through the yarn like so, and then I just use my yarn like that to secure it. So I'm going to turn this like that and just try and secure your project as best you can onto the slide, but this is pretty easy and straightforward. So just tie it a couple of times and there you go, you'll be fine. So this is what I've done, and then once you've done that, you are going to go through this again. Just create a knot like so. And there you go. Once you've finished your knot, there we go, you'll just need to snip off your yarn and there you go, you've got a gorgeous slide. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you liked it, and yeah, have a lovely week. Bye bye.